GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA.
Good night, Montreal. Tonight we'll break down the city's new $3.4 million for temporary shelters and a water main repair that's prompting a $1.2 million resident conservation request. Outside it's 10 degrees with light rain, so stay dry. Jeff Laflamme, I know you've got thoughts on this one.
The city just rebooted its bike counter network, installing fresh sensors on major routes, hoping to capture real-time cyclist traffic after months of data silence.
Jeff, I knew you'd bring up numbers, but this is great for riders. City planners can finally see where the flow spikes and where gaps remain.
Exactly. After the pandemic halted collection, the renewed counters will inform bike lane expansions, supporting our climate goals and encouraging commuters to choose pedals over cars.
All right, let's get into it. First up, a look at how these fresh numbers will shape tomorrow's cycling routes and what that means for everyday Montrealers. We're diving into the top stories now, starting with one major development. The city is taking steps to address its housing crisis, allocating $3,400,000 for temporary shelters. This funding, effective July 1st, is part of a 3-year effort to provide temporary housing for homeless households. The move is aimed at preventing a surge in homelessness on July 1st, a date that typically sees a rise in evictions. The Office Municipal de Habitation is overseeing the initiative, which is expected to provide critical support to those at risk of losing their homes. With the city facing a growing housing crisis, this allocation is a significant investment in helping to mitigate the issue and provide stability for vulnerable households. The funding is set to be in place for a 3-year period, starting this summer.
A significant water conservation request is in effect for 1.2 million residents due to emergency repairs on a major aqueduct. The city announced the measure on May 29, and it is scheduled to remain in place for several weeks. The repairs are reducing the system's capacity, prompting the call for reduced water use. The city is conducting emergency work on a key water conduit that supplies the main reservoir, a crucial part of the water supply system. Residents are being asked to cut back on their water usage to help mitigate the impact of the reduced capacity. The city's request is intended to ensure a stable water supply during this period of maintenance and repair. The conservation request will remain in effect until the repairs are completed.
A critical transit project in Quebec is facing significant delays due to a hold-up in funding approvals from the provincial government. The Société de Transport de Montréal will have to pay millions of dollars in bank fees as a result. These delays can last up to 5 years, causing major disruptions to the transit system. The bureaucratic hold-ups on funding authorizations are to blame for the setback. The SDM relies heavily on provincial financing to maintain and expand its subway and bus network, making timely approval of funds crucial. The delay is expected to have a substantial impact on the transit system, with millions of dollars being spent on bank fees instead of improving services. This development was reported on May 29th.
The city is set to revive its bike counter network with brand new devices. This move will restore data collection, which was put on hold back in March due to a funding pause. The citywide bicycle traffic counting system is scheduled to be up and running again, thanks to this new initiative announced on May 29. This is significant because accurate cyclist counts play a crucial role in planning safer bike lanes and allocating resources effectively. By restarting the system, the city will once again have access to valuable data, helping to inform decisions and create a more cycle-friendly environment. The new devices will provide the city with the information it needs to make informed choices about bike infrastructure. This restart is a positive step forward for cyclists and the community as a whole.
Quebec mayors, including the Mayor of Montreal, have issued a statement calling for the provincial government to provide additional funding for public transport services. The request was made on May 29th, as transit agencies across the province struggle with chronic underfunding. The mayors are seeking to address the significant gap between public expectations and current service levels. This move highlights the urgent need for increased support to ensure public transport services can meet the demands of residents. The mayor's statement emphasizes the importance of adequate funding to maintain and improve public transportation, which is essential for the daily lives of many Quebec residents. The province's transit agencies are facing significant challenges, and the mayors are pushing for a solution to this pressing issue. Later, we'll hear how a $1.2 million psychosocial patrol will help the Latin Quarter, plus more. We will be right back. Welcome back to The Wrap. We're halfway through. Let's dive into local stories now with Jeff.
The Quebec government has announced $1.2 million in funding for psychosocial patrols in the Latin Quarter to address rising homelessness and related public order concerns. 7 psychosocial workers will be deployed to provide street patrols, as part of efforts to mitigate the growing issue of itinerancy. This initiative comes as the city's homelessness crisis continues to intensify, prompting targeted interventions to support those in need. The funding, announced on May 29th, is a significant investment in the well-being of residents and visitors to the area. The patrols will aim to provide support and services to individuals struggling with homelessness, in an effort to improve public safety and overall quality of life in the community. This move is seen as a crucial step in addressing the complex issues surrounding homelessness.
A significant claim for damages has been filed over the Bon Pasteur fire. The Municipal real estate arm has sought $37 million from architects and contractors involved in the project. The claim, reported May 29th, alleges the firm's work caused the fire that damaged the historic monastery site. The city is pursuing compensation for reconstruction costs after the building suffered a major blaze. This claim is a major development in the city's efforts to recover from the fire. The firms involved in the project are now facing a substantial claim for damages, which will likely have significant implications for the reconstruction process and the city's efforts to restore the historic site. The claim is a key step in holding parties accountable for the fire.
If you're planning on getting around the city on the weekend of May 30th and 31st, you'll want to check your route ahead of time. The city has announced that multiple streets will be closed to accommodate 2 major events, the Tour de l'Isle and Tour La Nuit. Thousands of cyclists and spectators are expected to participate, which means temporary traffic reroutes will be in place. The closures will affect various streets across the city, so it's a good idea to plan your commute in advance. The city is taking these measures to ensure the events run smoothly and safely for everyone involved. With so many people expected to take part, it's likely to be a fun and lively weekend, so be sure to check for updates on road closures before you head out.
If you're one of the many cyclists in our community, you'll be happy to know that the city has just posted daily cyclist traffic counts online. This data, which had been unavailable since mid-March, is now available for the entire bike path network. The information was posted on May 29th, and it's a big deal for cyclists and planners alike. They've been waiting for up-to-date usage statistics to help with planning and navigating the city's growing network of bike paths. Now, with this data available, it's easier for everyone to get a sense of how our bike paths are being used, and that's set to improve transparency and support for cyclists across the city. This move is part of the city's effort to make our bike path network more user-friendly.
Local music fans who were looking forward to catching Patrick Bruel live this summer will have to wait a little longer. Bruel's management team announced on May 29th that his scheduled summer shows at local venues have been canceled. The concerts were part of a highly anticipated summer tour, and many had been eagerly awaiting his performance. According to the announcement, the decision was made to promote calm and responsibility. While the news may be disappointing for some, it's a decision that Bruel's team feels is necessary. The cancellation will undoubtedly be felt by many who were planning to attend the shows, and it's sure to be a talking point among music lovers in the community.
Now let's see how tonight's rain and chill will affect your plans.
It's currently 10 degrees Celsius with light rain falling, and the humidity is quite high at 86%, making it feel fairly damp outside, with a gentle breeze blowing at 17 kilometers per hour. As we look to the rest of the night, it's expected to stay around the same temperature, with the light rain tapering off. The sunset has already occurred at 8:32 p.m., but it's worth noting it was a bit earlier than we've been used to lately. The wind will pick up slightly, blowing from the south, but it shouldn't be too strong, and the UV index is relatively low at 2. Now, let's take a look at what's in store for the next few days. We're looking at a 5-day forecast that's quite varied, starting with Saturday, which will be mostly overcast, with highs reaching 14 degrees Celsius and lows dipping down to 8 degrees Celsius. Sunday will be similar, with a chance of rain, and temperatures ranging from 9 to 18 degrees Celsius. Monday and Tuesday are looking much clearer, with plenty of sunshine and highs reaching 19 and 21 degrees Celsius, respectively, making for a lovely start to the week. With crisp, cool nights and warm days, a perfect combination for outdoor activities.
Coming up, traffic alerts for the Tour de l'Isle weekend, today's event lineup, and a quick hockey playoff look. We will be right back. And now here's Jason with sports.
Playoff hockey, a championship parade, and a stunning comeback. Let's go. Juraj Slavkovsky leads Montreal with 6 playoff goals in 18 games. The young Slovak has been the Canadiens' most dangerous weapon this postseason. Philip Danault is the only Canadian skater in the top 5 with a positive plus-minus, sitting at +6 while Caulfield is -8 and Suzuki -6. Nick Suzuki has been Montreal's engine all playoff long, 16 points in 18 games, 4 goals and 12 assists. Right behind him is defenseman Lane Hutson with 15 points, which is a remarkable number from the blue line. But here's the brutal reality tonight: none of that production is showing up at Lenovo Center. Montreal is in serious trouble in Carolina. The Hurricanes lead 4-0 through 2 periods. The Canadiens have dropped 3 straight in this series, and with the offense completely silent tonight, Suzuki and the rest of the top 6 simply have not shown up when it matters most. This series has turned fast and it has turned ugly. Montreal won Game 1 convincingly 6-2, but Carolina has answered with 3 straight wins, 2 by a score of 3-2, then a 4-0 shutout on May 27th. Now it is happening again tonight, 4-0 in the second period. The Canadiens are staring down back-to-back shutouts and a potential series elimination. Goaltender Jacob Dobies is 9-9 in the playoffs with a goals against average of 2.5, solid numbers that tell you this collapse is an offensive problem, not a goaltending one. Montreal needs a miracle to keep this series alive. If tonight holds, Montreal faces a must-win Game 6 back at Centre Bell on May 31st, or their playoff run is over. History was made in Montreal. The Victoire captured the first-ever PWHL Walter Cup championship with a dominant 4-0 shutout over the Ottawa Charge. Marie-Philippe Poulin delivered another legendary chapter in an already legendary career. Named the Alana Kloss playoff MVP, Poulin tied the PWHL postseason points record with 8, proving once again why she is the defining figure of women's hockey in this country. Her performance throughout the Victoires championship run was the kind that transcends a single tournament. It adds another line to a legacy that Montreal fans have celebrated for over a decade. Anne-Renée Despiens was equally brilliant, posting a shutout in the cup-clinching Game 5. Together, Poulin and Despiens gave Montreal a championship performance that will be talked about for years. The city's first women's hockey title belongs to the Victoire. Mark your calendars, the Walter Cup Championship parade rolls through the Quartier des Spectacles tomorrow, May 30th. Montreal's first women's hockey title deserves a celebration. Prince Usu completed a hat trick and added a stoppage-time assist as CF Montreal clawed back from 4-2 down deep in injury time to draw 4-4 with DC United. You cannot script what happened at that CF Montreal match. Down 4-2 against DC United deep in injury time, the game seemingly lost. Prince Usu took over. 3 goals, 1 assist. A hat trick that built into one of the most stunning late comebacks in recent Montreal soccer memory. Usu's stoppage-time assist sealed the 4-4 draw and sent the home supporters into absolute disbelief. For a club fighting for form and consistency in Major League Soccer, a result like this carries serious momentum, not because of the dropped points, but because of the character and the firepower this team showed when it mattered most. Prince Usu put the city on his back tonight.
In the heart of Plateau Montreal, at the MADA Community Center on Saint Laurent Boulevard, a remarkable young man was honored for his selfless work. David Hartle, an engineering student, has been dedicating his time to helping those in need, and his efforts have not gone unnoticed. Every week, he would organize evenings of packing Shabbat meals for families who struggle to make ends meet, bringing a sense of comfort and dignity to their tables. At the historic Windsor Ballroom, surrounded by the people he has helped, David was celebrated as MADA's Face of Kindness, a testament to the impact one person can have on their community. As he accepted the recognition, his humility and kindness shone through, inspiring all who were present. In a world that often highlights what divides us, David's story reminds us that kindness can bring us together.
In the heart of Parc Jerry, in Montreal's vibrant Villeray, St. Mitchell Park Extension neighborhood, a crowd of young people gathered on the main lawn surrounded by the lush greenery of the park. More than 80 Montreal youths aged 8 to 16 were being rewarded for their good deeds, with each one receiving a brand new bicycle at Sun Youth's Heroes on Bike ceremony. The air was filled with excitement as these kind-hearted teens, who had been recognized for their acts of kindness, such as helping seniors and cleaning parks, were given a new way to explore the city. As they received their bikes, the smiles on their faces said it all: the joy of being recognized for their generosity, and the thrill of hitting the road on 2 wheels. It's a reminder that kindness can take us on the greatest journeys of all, and that the ripple effect of a good deed can be felt for a long time.
Thanks, Montreal, for watching. I loved sharing David Hartle's inspiring story with you. Until next time, we'll see you then, right here on The Wrap.